Welcome back to the Development Book Club. Today we continue with the bare bones of the Buddha's teachings, and we will discuss steps or folds 6 and 7 of the Eightfold Noble, of the Eightfold Path. Okay, number 6 is right effort. The chapter begins with the story of a monk who was previously a musician. He tried very hard in his meditations, and he grew into despair at his lack of progress. Given all his time he spent, the Buddha reminded this monk of his lute instrument that he played. He said, "Strung too tight, it sounds shrill and tense. Too loose, also not beautiful. But tuned just right, it made beautiful music. This is right effort." The idea here is to be at rest wherever you are and carry on the secret, closely continuous, intimate level practice you've developed. We remember back to the book on metta that we read previously, where in our loving kindness meditations we wish ease of well-being to everybody. That sort of ties in here. And note that here the right effort, which is associated with meditation, comes after right understanding, after right thought, wisdom, after right speech, right action, right livelihood, and that this is not a mistake. Four types of efforts are mentioned. There's the effort to avoid, and this is to say that if there's a frequent hole that one keeps falling into, it may be best to take another route or to avoid that road altogether. The effort to avoid, and is also the effort to overcome. So once we are in a hole, it is best to remove ourselves. And this can be the most difficult type of effort. A hole, in fact, can become a nest, and we don't want that. Third type is the effort to develop. The Buddha asks now at this point, what now is the effort to develop? The disciple incites his will to arouse meritorious conditions that have not yet arisen. Meritorious conditions, very nice. This is like to create the possibility of enlightenment or the seeds of awakening, which is our mindfulness, investigation, energy, rapture, tranquility, concentration, and equanimity. And note that these are all things that are already innate within us that would be acquired from the outside. Fourth type of effort is the effort to maintain. And the image here is, think of a chicken and an egg. Quote, "She does not need to understand the process of a chick's development. She only needs to keep sitting on the egg." Fair enough. A commitment to consistency here, which is to say that we need to find other people who are also interested in gardening or sitting on eggs, as it were. And the term in Pali for this is a Sangha, Sangha. And there's an awesome image from the Buddha here as well that I'd like to read. And this is to say that suppose that a man, in the course of traveling along a path, were to come to a great expanse of water, with the near shore dubious and risky, the further shore secure and free from risk, but with neither a ferry boat nor a bridge going from this shore to the other. The thought would occur to him, quote, "Here is this great expanse of water, with the near shore dubious and risky, and the further shore secure and free from risk, but with neither a ferry boat nor a bridge going from this shore to the other. What if I were to gather grass, twigs, branches, and leaves, and, having bound them together to make a raft, were to cross safely over onto the other shore, in dependence on the raft, making an effort with my hands and feet?" The raft is none other than the Eightfold Path itself. And I'd heard this story at another place many years ago, and it asked the question that once you've made it to the other shore, one does not need to carry the raft through the woods. Another question is, but how does the disciple, the meditator, dwell in the contemplation of the body? And this is a famous quote. "There, the disciple retires to the forest, to the foot of a tree, or to a solitary place. He sits himself down, with legs crossed, body erect, and with attentiveness fixed before him. With attentive mind he breathes in, with attentive mind he breathes out." And this beautiful image, really, this attentiveness can be translated as mindfulness or watchfulness, Really cool. And there are three aspects here: concentration power, sensory clarity, and equanimity. However, right mindfulness, we talk about the seventh step, is not just mindfulness. If that were the case, then a thief's mindfulness to detail and attention and cunning and planning, all that, that's not what we're looking for here, right? So it has to be right or correct mindfulness. The four establishments or foundations of the Pali word sati, or watchfulness, mindfulness. There is sati of the body, and here we observe the immediate reality of the fragility and impermanence of the body. And this includes the breath. It's crucial that we distinguish between concentration, meditation, that focuses on the sensations of each foot as it lifts, let's say, while we're walking, moves, touches the ground. So this idea versus vipassana meditation, where sati, or watchfulness, mindfulness, remains the still point between the activity of walking and the knowing that there is a body moving. So this is sort of observing. And here we learn the characteristics of suffering, impermanence, and no self. Number two is the sati of feeling sensations. And the idea here is that subtle is significant. And this practice is precisely a continual movement toward increasingly subtle objects of awareness. 3, sati of the mind. Here, contemplation moves directly inward. It's not necessarily out or what the surroundings are, but inside. And number 4 is sati of phenomena. And here, sati becomes quite subtle. And there are lots of lists, and eventually we move on to the 8th step of the Eightfold Path, and that is right samadhi, which, teaser, we will cover next time. Thank you.